सिया राम, जय जय राम सिया राम, राम सिया राम, जय जय राम सिया राम। राम
सारे प्राणी एक बिंदु के अलग अलग बसना, जीवन के पथ में ना जाने कौन आ जाएगा, जीवन के पथ में ना जाने कौन आ जाएगा। सबसे निभाता चल, सबको रिझाता चल, सबसे निभाता चल, सबको रिझाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम, राम नाम का अलख जगाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन गाता चल।
राम सिया राम, जय जय राम सिया राम।
जो जीवन का सार समझ ले, जीवन उसका है, जर्रा निकाले जो माटी सब कंचन उसका है, जर्रा निकाले जो माटी सब कंचन उसका है। परतें हटाता चल, मन को सजाता चल, परतें हटाता चल, मन को सजाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम, राम नाम का अलख जगाता चल, मिल जाएंगे राम, राम धुन गाता चल, राम धुन।
सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Deepa, do you have a question?
Yes. Say a person, his heart stopped. So he is clinically supposed to be dead, but then we can put the defibrillator or whatever, and we can restart his heart and he functions normally. So in that intermediary where his heart stopped, do we say that the link between the subtle and the gross body is cut or not?
No, if it's
Not
cut,
cut.
you cannot rejoin it. This becomes
Okay.
like coma or deep sleep.
Okay. So once it's cut, you cannot rejoin it. Okay.
I mean, this is all speculation, but yes, once
Yeah.
it's cut, like how will a defibrillator, how will the gross affect the subtle, right?
Yeah.
So by logic, it seems that that's not possible. But now there's no way of actually verifying
Knowing.
this.
Correct. Thank you.
Taranjeet?
Hey, Janki ji, good morning. Happy Janmashtami to all.
Happy Janmashtami.
Okay. So, Janki ji, I was just trying to imbibe the view that we were having, like resultant desire and actions, right? So, one thought, if you can help me understand, is the action. Is there a correlation between the action and the resultant desire? Means the action that finally takes place, right? Is it the direct correlation with the resultant desire, or resultant desire is just a kind of a hypothetical thing? It may not manifest in the world. I don't.
No, it has to. Whenever it is exactly the same. Final action and resultant desire is the same. Now, exactly the same. Because here I want to be a billionaire. I want to sleep. These are my two desires. Resultant action is I am resting in bed.
Okay.
Right. So I'm obviously not going to become a billionaire. So it's not a supernatural thing. It is because of action that your results come. But
No, I'm talking about. So I was talking about the moment, right? Say at this moment, my desire is to have a cup of tea. So that desire resulted into an action of me taking a cup of tea or something. So that is a resultant desire at this moment.
That's correct.
Right. Okay. Now, just to, if you have 2 minutes, I just want to take it one step further, and what Maheshji was asking last time, between desire and the deserve part. So say at this moment, my desire is to have a cup of tea, and I see you and I say, let's have a cup of tea. But you say that you just prepared a coffee and there's an extra coffee, so have a coffee with me. So my resultant desire and my action was for the tea, but the universe, means you responded to me with a cup of coffee. So how that cup of coffee is related to my resultant desire or something like that, right?
No, there's an incident.
Sorry?
Now there's an incident. There is you who wanted tea, and there's a reverse side which offering you coffee.
Yeah.
If you refuse the coffee and you go for the tea, then that is the resultant of all the past.
No, I'm not going that far. I'm just taking that moment of that. Okay, my desire was to have a.
No, don't repeat your question. I'll explain the answer.
Just that part, yeah.
Yeah. Everything that happens at this second is the result of the entire past.
Right.
So resultant is the result of the entire past. So now your resultant desire is tea for that moment.
Right.
Next moment you faced a circumstance. There was some incident. Somebody offered you coffee instead.
Right.
Now your resultant desire will either be agree with this other person, disagree, and no, I really want my tea, whatever. So what you finally do, having that tea or coffee, is your that moment's resultant.
No,
Like
I'm going
every
step.
moment-
No, I'm going step back only. I'm not talking about what I decide. I'm saying the universe responded to me with the coffee. So is that moment I was deserving coffee? So how that coffee, which I deserve now, is related to my resultant desire of tea?
That's why I said that resultant desire is the result of the entire past. So
Yeah,
you
that is fine.
you've already made friends with coffee drinkers. So this will be offered to you all constantly. It's a resultant, no?
So you
Of
are saying
all actions. You're sort of in your mind, you've made that tea a single thing.
no, I'm taking tea and coffee both together.
No. When you say I want tea, in your mind you made that a single thing.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say, that anything that you have is the result of the entire past. So it's like a kaleidoscope, right? You know a kaleidoscope, right?
Yeah.
So there are glass pieces in it. So you give it one tap, the movement of those pieces changes, and you get a different picture.
Right.
So that's exactly what's happening in life.
Okay.
One tap to your resultant, and then there's a different picture. And then after that, there's another picture. Because individual pieces mix and match in various different ways.
Okay. So now let's see the same scenario from the other person's perspective. The person who offered me the coffee. So his resultant desire to offer me a coffee was influenced by my resultant desires.
Hmm.
Because I got coffee because of my resultant desires.
Hmm.
And his offering me coffee was impacted by my resultant desire because I deserved the coffee.
No, no, no.
So we need to take both the scenarios together, right?
No, no, no. Wait, wait.
Because why his resultant desire is offering me coffee. Why his resultant desire is offering me coffee.
Okay, go step by step. Do not bring another person into this. At the moment, you only figure out one side of it. Once you figure out one side of it, eventually the other side will become clear. Now, he may have offered you coffee. If you have no resultant desire involved, you will not meet him, you will not hear his offer, you will not accept his offer. You are reacting based on you. What is happening in the world at any given point is a billion things.
Yeah,
You are only seeing the one which has got something to do with you. Otherwise, you won't see it,
exactly.
you won't know
No,
it.
no.
Don't worry about the second person when you're doing this. First, go step by step, figure out how in your own life, see how resultant desire has worked. This is for everybody, of course. And see, you can actually trace it back. How the result of everything you have done has brought you to a particular point. Okay, you can say, okay, why have you come to Vedanta? Say, for instance. So you must have obviously gone here and there, asked people questions, not received answers which you felt were good. So you came up with your own answers. This is true for everybody. Okay, then you came across Vedanta, which questioned those answers, whichever ones you have given yourself. Then now that mixes and matches, and now you are going to come up with some other theory or whatever according to you works. Okay, you can yourself see how this thing merges. Don't bring in the second person until you figure out the first person. Otherwise, you just confuse yourself.
No, I got the first person, but the offering the coffee is a first person for that person, right? So whatever his resultant desire
No,
has to be
listen.
independent.
I
No,
already covered that.
yeah, has to be independent of my resultant desire, or it is dependent on my resultant desire.
There are a billion things happening in the world. You are only noticing what is to do with your desire. That other person is not relating to your desire. You are noticing something which is relating to your desire. The other people are doing whatever they are doing, life is doing
So
whatever.
okay, they are totally independent, right? Or everyone is going independently. Okay. Okay.
As of current advice in where we are right now.
Okay. And it is only my mind that is trying to correlate the things. But otherwise, there is no such thing. Everyone is going on its own, right?
As of now, that's what the stance we're taking. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. It helps. Thanks a lot.
Hariom, ma'am, I have one question, a quick one. See, a lot of people today watch, and this is uh, Netflix, right? You have watched a lot of shows on serial killers, spies, and all, and we try to research it, and we consume a lot of time. So, as per this, too much obsession on this will result to something, right? Where you are caught in an uncomfortable situation, and then people will say that how did it happen, right? And we'll have this whole debate. I was not responsible, but in a way, you watch this, you consume this, you have this a need for this, and you find yourself in that environment. So, am I right that this results in that?
Maybe, yeah, could be. All your thoughts are constantly with negative things. Then yes, there are many people who've seen, movies and then gone and done criminal acts. No? So those are extreme
Hmm.
examples of. So yes, normally you should not. But it all depends on what you're seeing. When you're seeing a crime serial, what are you seeing is very, very important. Are you seeing crime? Are you seeing logic? What is it you are seeing? Are you just being duh about it? So very important what aspect you are relating to. So, but on the whole, you're right. It's better that we avoid negative content. unnecessary. You can go off on a wrong tangent. You see selfish people doing very well, and you know how some horrible serial where this really horrible man becomes, I don't know, a president of the United States or something. You know, something that basically teaches you that being selfish, being nasty, being horrible is a good thing. So these kind of things do pull ourselves down because they're false. Badness can only work for a very small duration. So you know, there is a game theory for that. I don't know if you have ever heard of this one.
Prisoner's dilemma.
Sorry,
Prisoner's dilemma.
prisoner's dilemma. Yes, that's right. Very good. Yes, prisoner's dilemma. See, in that there's a game that says that you know, if they're two prisoners, okay, if they cooperate with each other, they both get a point. Same. There are 2 points, they both get. If they cheat each other, if they cheat, they can win 5 points. Okay, so they do this, and then you know that one, right? I shared it actually just today on Facebook. So all of you who are my Facebook friends, please go and have a look at that video. Or maybe Bharat can post it. Bharat, can you post that video here? I don't know. So when you're consuming content from which you're learning something wrong, how is that helping you? So when you've learned something wrong, you'll do something wrong and you'll get wrong results. So in that sense, you're right. That don't expose yourself to negative things because they're wrong. More than negative, because they're wrong. It doesn't work like that. So basically the game theory, eventually the conclusion of that is those who learn cooperation without being pushovers. You know what in Vedanta we call aggressive goodness. You're good, but you don't allow anyone to fool around with you. So if you learn how to do this, you have your highest chances of success, survival, the community growth, the whole lot of it. So you're right, but you have to remember 2 things. One is you're right because what they're teaching is wrong. And 2 is, what are you learning from it? You know, in the sense, if you're seeing like Agatha Christie, you are seeing, right? So somebody has been murdered. Now you're going to work out. It's an intellectual game for you to try and figure out who is this murderer, what are the clues. What you're engaging in is the reasoning.
Logic, not reasoning.
Or you're just looking at, you know how some people couch potato, just sitting around over TV. There's no real reaction. It's just killing time. Then you're going to become tamasic. So it all depends on what are you engaging with. But on the whole, it's preferable not to associate with anything that teaches you negative or wrong things. And then, of course, like you said, the consequences come along.
Because I've experienced this, just 10-second thing. One of my childhood friends, I went to my place since I'm in Bombay. She told that you always wanted excitement. I didn't think about it. Like, this is 20, 25 years old, and I have had some exciting experiences in my life. So I was trying to relate this to this statement, and somehow I found that it was true. So to conclude, we have to be very careful on what we eat, consume, do, think, watch, right? So because all that will result, it's very clear. There's no 2 ways about it. And we can do a post-mortem, which is not going to give us answers once it happens, right?
Yes. I mean, it'll help us for the future. Post-mortem can help you for the future.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sorry, Janki ji, Mahabharat and Ramayan both. We know that like they're trying to show Ram as the ideal, and in Mahabharat that war, but mainly the song of God, that is Krishna telling Arjun. But they had to depict the bad to show us the difference between the dvandvas. So now somebody may be impressed that, oh, I was so impressed with Duryodhan. Now, is that because of the vasanas of that person? The focus is actually to show us, see, this is what happens with bad and with good. Okay. But some people may still get influenced. Then I don't think there's any story, book, writing, movie, life, even where there's only good.
True, but the question is who's winning?
The good.
And yeah, so in our epics and all, they show what is goodness and how goodness wins. But sometimes in Netflix and other things, they show what is badness and how badness wins.
That's too much of it today, actually.
So that is because people, obviously, everybody wants novelty. They've got fed up with the hero always winning. So now they want the villain to win. Okay. You know, when you are consuming so much content, you need novelty. Otherwise, in our country, the same Ramayana and the same Mahabharata for centuries have been entertaining us. Because there was not so much. How often did you hear Ramayana? You saw that play on Ram Leela. Did you see any other play? No, you saw this play. So you know
Sorry, yeah.
So you are not losing the joy of theater. You've not lost the joy of the good winning. Now the quantum is so much that you lose the joy, and therefore you want novelty.
So what do we do? You know, children, like I remember reading naughty books when I was young and I devoured them and I used to tell my mother, you have to also read. Even in that, there would be some bad guy. Even in Enid Blyton's series, all, there would be some bad guy. Now, a child reading, I mean, they may not have that strong intellect to, really guide them, or they may say, oh, I like it when that mean goblin comes and all. Then what, how do we guide them? Like,
How do we guide them?
means they're exposed to both.
They have to, no? That's how they will grow up. They can't be exposed only to goodness in childhood and then suddenly find badness in the world. They'll go mad. So they are exposed, they have to be. And your behavior will, with them, your constant behavior is influencing them. The story also influences them. At the end of the story, you have to also influence them and say, see, he was such a good boy, no? Noddy was so sweet, no? I mean, all that normal childhood tricks you play. What else?
Yeah, it is
You
difficult.
cannot pretend that there is no bad. You bring up
No.
a child incorrectly then.
No, you can't do that. Thank you, Janki ji.
Okay.
Just a
Okay.
quick note, bad things aren't necessarily bad, like in the life of Buddha. So he saw bad and then he became a Buddha. So just to let Tinky know that, even they're exposed to bad does not mean that they will necessarily turn out bad.
Right. It all depends on what you are relating to, right? That's what we just did with Ganesh. It all depends on what are you relating to. You're seeing a murder story, but what are you relating to? Are you relating to the logic? Are you relating to being a couch potato? Are you relating to, oh, look how the bad guys do well? So, yes, correct, Manish.
I had put a question also on the chat for about the resultant desire.
Okay, 1 second. Let me look. Why is it not showing me? Here it is. To what extent does our environment determine what our resultant desire is? Other way around. Our resultant desire manifests as the environment. I may have many desires, but end up doing something totally different. Right. Everybody desires Vedanta, but they all end up doing something totally different. To what extent does our environment determine our resultant desire? No, it doesn't. What determines the environment is our resultant desire. All our desires put together put us in a certain environment. So people will come to class also. But their resultant desire is so caught up in so many things that during class also they want to do something else. So environment is not affecting. You are affecting the environment. Right. So let us continue. I seem to have a lot of questions. Maybe another GD is necessary. How much time do we have? We have to. Next, before we finish, we'll do one GD. You all want to do GD? You all have questions and don't do GD. I don't understand this. Please, can anybody explain this to me? If you have a question, do discuss among yourself and do it. Because you all have the information that you need to have to answer these questions. If you're not able to answer these questions, get your peer group to answer the question. If you and your peer group is not able to answer the question, then you bring it up in class. Then it makes sense. Then you will actually learn something. Otherwise, you will ask the question and 6 months later you'll say, oh, I know you answered it very well that day. What did you say? How can I remember what I said 6 months ago? So if you have to digest knowledge, please put in the work. Who will read the next paragraph? Okay, remember where we were, right? We had stopped at resultant desire is the sum total of all the desires. That I think you all by now have learned. Then how is birth and death taking place? That same resultant desire is making you born somewhere, wherever you are born. Atman is not born or dead because it is
all-pervading.
It's all pervading. So the question of its movement doesn't arise. It doesn't die here and is born there. There's no rebirth for Atman. There is no death for Atman. It is all pervading. It cannot move. Body is there. Atman is there. So what is happening at the time of death is the subtle body along with the causal body moves. This is what is happening at the time of death. Now he's going to explain it with the example, with a couple of examples. How many examples? One example. Who will read the example?
May I?
Please.
The concept of birth and death becomes clearer with the example of the sun and its reflections. The sun's rays are all pervading. Wherever there is a reflecting medium, there will be a reflection of the sun. Hold a mirror in a frame in a broad sunlight. You will find a reflected sun in it. Remove the mirror from the frame and fix it in another frame. Instantly, the reflected sun in the first frame vanishes and appears in the second. The image is dead in the first and born in the second. The reflected sun moves from one to the other, brought about by the transference of the mirror. So this paragraph is trying to
I think you better read the next one also, otherwise
Okay.
it won't make sense.
equate the example to the phenomenon of birth and death. The sun above represents the Atman. Its all-pervading rays would then be the pure consciousness everywhere. The frame would be the gross body. The glass and the reflecting material composing the mirror would represent the subtle and the causal bodies respectively. The Atman functioning through these bodies projects the individual. Thus, the transference of the subtle and causal bodies from one gross body to another determines the death and birth of the individual. Until the vasanas, desires get completely exhausted. The causal and the subtle bodies eliminated. The cycle of birth and death will continue for him. The moment the vasanas, desires are eradicated, the individuality is dissolved. His cycle of birth and death ends. He attains spiritual enlightenment. So this example is trying to describe how birth and death takes place and until when the birth will keep taking place. So like whenever there is a sun there and when there is a sun and we have a reflecting surface, it will reflect, right? We might change the position of the reflecting surface, but it will reflect. So this reflection is nothing but the individual, the life. And until our vasanas, desires are completely exhausted, our causal and subtle bodies will exist. So yeah, so to eradicate completely, we have to, come out from the cycle of birth and death, we have to eradicate our vasanas, desires, and attain spiritual enlightenment.
Good. So I hope the example is clear. Assume there's a mirror, some mirror, right? In broad daylight, there is a reflection of the sun. Now, why is there a reflection of the sun in that mirror?
Because the glass in the middle.
Glass in the mirror? What do you mean? How does a glass doesn't reflect?
Because,
Go ahead. Because
because that body is still alive.
no. Why does the sun reflect in the mirror?
Because it is the nature of the surface, the mirror, to reflect.
Okay.
All pervading.
No. Wait. We come back down to earth. This is a very, very simple question. Why does a glass reflect? Does a glass reflect? No, glass doesn't reflect. Light will go through it, right?
Yeah.
How will a glass reflect? Goes through it. What reflects?
Atman.
No,
Atman.
I'm just talking about glass and mirror. Forget philosophy at the moment. Just
Okay.
science we're doing currently. There is a piece of glass. Behind that glass, you paint this thing. Right? When you paint whatever it is that they paint, what do they paint behind? They put something behind.
There's some metal there.
Yeah.
The sun's rays reflect?
No. Wait, forget all that. Just what is a mirror? A mirror is a piece of glass with something behind it. Whatever they paint behind it. That red thing. Have you seen a glass that paint something behind it? The reflecting surface there.
Yeah.
How is that reflecting surface formed? There is a glass and there is something behind that glass. Correct? Now that glass is our gross body. That thing that is painted behind it is our subtle and gross body. Okay? So as long as that reflecting medium is there in this, it will reflect. No, sorry. Let us take it better. The frame of that mirror is our gross body. That mirror, which means the glass and its reflecting surface, is our subtle and gross body. Subtle and causal body. Correct? With me so far? Or am I confusing it?
Yes.
There's a frame. The frame has a glass. The glass has something painted behind it. That frame is our gross body. Right? Now you pick up this mirror from frame A and put it in frame B. Where will the reflection be? It will be in frame B. Now, think about why is there a reflection in frame B? Is it because the sun has moved? Yeah. No. Is it because the sun has moved?
No.
No.
Because the sun, because it is reflecting the subtle and gross body. Subtle and causal body. Yeah.
So why is the sun being reflected in frame A? Because the mirror is there. You pick up that mirror from frame A and put it in frame B. Now where will the reflection of the sun be?
B.
In B.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, when will there be no reflection in any frame and in any glass? Can the sun go away?
No.
Okay, then what is supposed to go away?
The vasanas are exhausted.
Yeah.
Hence,
The reflecting surface is gone.
subtle and causal body disappears.
Yeah. In the example, you have to say, no, we're discussing the example. Yes, Deepraj?
The reflecting surface is gone.
When the reflecting surface is gone. Is that clear? Actually, I really need to know how to draw this thing. With the drawing, it's much easier. Where is this thing? Here it comes. Whiteboard. Oh, host disabled participant whiteboarding. Can you please able it? your co-host. Where did that thing disappear again?
With the Janaki, in this example, what is the glass then?
That is the so-called individuality, which is no individuality there. There won't be a reflection unless there is that Momita says silver or aluminium. Unless that is that whatever back painted, whatever is painted behind, glass will never reflect.
So
How do we
actually, the mind, no, the subtle body means the mind is the reflecting medium.
Yeah. So what is painted behind that glass is your. Oh no! Now I'm co-host, but the board has gone. How do I get the board back? Share whiteboard. Okay. Somebody needs to come and give me a lesson on how to do this. Okay, never mind. I'll do it with my hands. Okay, there is a frame here. There is a frame here. In this frame, there is a mirror. The mirror is composed of a glass with a paint behind. There is a frame here. There is no mirror in this. If you pick up the mirror from here and you put it in here, the all-pervading sun, which was earlier being reflected in the first frame, now starts being reflected in the second frame because you moved the mirror. So that is the phenomenon of rebirth. Right? So the frame is inanimate anyway. The body is inanimate anyway. When the mind and intellect and the vasanas are there, it appears to have life. Why does it appear to have life? Does the mind and intellect and vasanas have life? No. The reflection is coming from the sun. But unless the medium is there, that reflection will not happen. Your life-giving principle is the self. The fact that you think you exist is a reflection of the Atman. It's not the original thing. It's that thing which you are seeing because of some medium in between. Now you think that I am going from frame A to frame B, but the sun hasn't moved. You are not going. The mind and intellect and vasanas are going. Momita, subtle and causal bodies are non-existent without desire. Subtle and causal bodies is a technical term for desire. I don't know what you mean, they're non-existent.
Actually, the glass and the aluminum paint, what is the difference? I'm still not able to get. Like, what is the glass? What is the aluminum paint or the paint behind it? The paint behind it is
the gross and subtle body. The glass is the assumed individuality. There is nothing there. Huh?
Subtle and causal body, no, Janki?
Sorry,
the
what?
frame. The frame is the
gross body.
Gross body.
Hmm.
The glass
is
the reflecting medium. The reflecting medium. The reflecting medium in that mirror is your gross and subtle body. Subtle and causal body.
Causal. Subtle and causal.
Mind and intellect and vasanas, yes.
So Janki ji, the medium of reflection is the sun, right?
No,
Without the
the
sun enables us to see the reflection of the causal body.
No. Wait, don't get this confused. With the sun is what is being reflected. When you claim an individuality, it is the Atman being reflected. The Atman is all-pervading, just as the light of the sun is all-pervading. But it appears in a particular spot to you. Why is it appearing there? Because there is a reflecting medium there.
But without the sun, you can't see the reflection in any case. So it is an enabler.
No, we're not discussing that. We are saying that the sun is reflected in the mirror.
So this sentence, Janki, glass is the subtle and the reflecting material is the causal body.
Where are you reading that?
Here, line 4, sorry.
The glass is
The glass and
cause.
reflecting material opposing the world represent the subtle and causal bodies respectively. Okay. All right, you can take it like that. That's correct. How can I say that is wrong? That is right. But basically, the concept he's trying to bring about is, what is the concept? That unless there is that reflecting medium, that glass will not reflect. So nothing will reflect unless there is a reflecting medium. So
Which is the causal body, right? I mean, which is the in this example, it's the causal body which is giving the individuality.
Yes. I mean, yes, causal body, as you know, is unmanifest. So you can't claim it without the subtle body. So maybe with this example, you say the reflecting medium without the glass will not reflect. Maybe you can say it like that. Like if you just put aluminium, it may not reflect. You need the glass for it to reflect. Maybe you can put it like that. But what is critical in this is the all-pervading Atman appears in a particular place because of the reflecting medium, which is the gross and subtle and causal body. And then it appears in another place because of a reflection there, because of another reflecting medium there. But the sun is all pervading. That's what it's trying to say. Remember, what is the point we are at? That the Atman is not moving. That's the point we are at, because it's all pervading. So he's given an example. And that example can be developed a little further in the sense of the frame is the gross body, because frame to usme koi kuch hota hi nahi hai. I mean, anyway, it's inanimate. That glass is what moves. So what makes that mirror is what moves. But what makes that mirror, that glass into a mirror is the causal, is that reflecting surface, is that reflecting paint, whatever medium, whatever it is.
The sun plays a crucial role here, right? I mean, the Atman, as in.
Plays a crucial role in what sense?
In the subtle and causal bodies being reflected in another frame.
Without the sun, how will there be a reflection? It's a reflected sun we are talking about, no? Which, when you're saying reflection, what is being reflected? The sun is being reflected. So you can't say it plays a critical role. I mean, without the sun, the question doesn't arise.
So it is the Atman being reflected, right?
Yeah.
Through the mind, through the causal and subtle bodies. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Omkar?
This example is getting a little confusing. So the gross body is the frame. When the glass and the reflecting material on the glass change the frames, that example kind of denotes rebirth, meaning from one frame it moves to the other frame or to the other gross body. That is rebirth, till such time that the glass and its reflecting surface are completely eliminated. This process will keep happening
Until that reflecting surface is eliminated.
until, okay.
So got it. What is confusing?
So Janki ji, can you just tell me this? So what is the medium of reflection in this example? Please.
Sometimes philosophy goes Even the most normal things, normal reflection, not reflecting as in thinking and ruminating and morning study, not that one. Normal reflection. The sun is reflected in a reflecting medium, in water it is reflected, or it is reflected on, I don't know, in a puddle or in a pond. The reflection of the sun. You see a sun in the water, right?
Water. Yeah, yeah. So we just take it as that much. Okay.
Just normal meaning of the word reflection. Vasanas are the reflecting medium of the Atman. No. Because of vasanas, Atman is reflected. If there were no vasanas, there's no question of reflection. The sun exists. But wherever there's a reflecting medium, you will see a secondary sun, a reflected sun.
But in the example, the causal body is the reflecting medium, which is the vasanas.
Yes, but you can't say it's the reflecting medium of the Atman. That's not the right phraseology.
But that's the analogy you're studying.
Analogy is all-pervading sun will appear as a reflected sun when there is a reflecting medium.
So in the analogy, the reflecting medium is vasanas, right?
Yeah. So, but you can't say the reflecting medium of the Atman. Atman doesn't have a reflecting medium. It's the medium that creates a reflected sun. A reflected Atman. Atman in the sense of self, in the sense of individuality. That is, the all-pervading self gets reflected into this being because of the presence of vasanas.
Janki-ji, but Atman does not have any vasanas in any case.
Yes, that's why I'm saying that the phrasing of the sentence is not, lends itself to misunderstanding. But maybe she gets the point, which is when vasanas exist, you see a reflected Atman. Reflected Atman means the individual. Yes, Deepraj?
Technically, shouldn't it just be the subtle body that's reflecting? Because when it's just the causal body, there's no individuality.
Yes, but there's no subtle body without the causal body.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, Taranjit?
Hi, Janki. So, I am just thinking that can we add one more factor in this example? In the sense, we have the sun, we have the frame, we have the glass, we have the reflecting surface. Can we add the quality of the reflecting surface? In the sense, vasanas can be equated with the quality of the reflecting surface. How perfectly it is reflecting, in the sense aberrations, because all mirrors are not same. Some gives a distorted image and all those things. So vasanas, I think, can be related to the quality of the reflecting surface will always be there. How pure or how perfect that reflecting surface is depending upon the vasanas and the quality.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Vedanta wisdom. Omkar, is that you? Maybe please revise subtle and causal bodies for clarity. Subtle body means mind and intellect. Causal body means vasanas. Okay? Tinky, we have so many desires, conscious and subconscious, which we are unaware of. Resultant desire takes us to the next life. So, how can one be alert to consciously choose the highest desire for the self? How can one be alert to consciously choose the highest desire for the self? By being alert. How to be alert now? That nobody can answer. How to be alert is dependent on the strength of your intellect. No? If your mind keeps carrying you away from wherever you wish to go, the intellect has to be strengthened to put it into position. Since it is not strengthened, we need to surround ourselves with good reminders. So that's why satsang. So that my mind, every time it goes off somewhere, I will remember that my purpose is this. My primary purpose is this. There are many, many millions of things I have to do in my life. Nobody is denying that. It's your duty to do them. You have to do them. But my primary purpose is this. And like a child holds that rod and goes round and round that rod when it plays, so too we will play in this world, holding on to that rod and going round and round and round. How whatever merry-go-round you want to take up, please do. But don't let go that rod. How to be alert? Surround yourself with satsang. That's why we have 3-4 classes a week. You give yourself satsang. That's why your morning study. You're giving yourself satsang. So all this develops the intellect so that we don't move away from our purpose. But we should have that purpose to begin with. Otherwise, if it's not our purpose, then the question doesn't arise. Also, there are many unfulfilled desires from past lives which can take us to the next life. So where is our free will? Our free will lies in us asserting the fact of what we want. What do you want? What is your purpose? Keep asserting it. And as a consequence of which, you will go there. Remember, we did this?
Yeah.
If you
So
do
that
not, if you
whenever
don't,
whichever life I go to, whatever it is, I have to keep remembering that the choice of my present action is in my hands. Baki is prarabdha, I can't do anything.
I
I
can't
keep
do anything. I'm changing it.
Huh?
It's
So
not.
morning satsang, all that, yes, hearing discourses, yes, and I put little post-its all over Samatvam and Chaitanyam and something. But then when you're out and doing various things, for that brief moment.
Don't worry about the brief moment. Make it 10% to 20% to 30% to 40%. Don't have 100% in the beginning. Ain't happening. More
And then the guilt and the regret, oh my God, what's the use? I'm studying and I'm still not applying it, and all that happens. So
you can't say I'm not applying it. You can say I'm failing at applying it. I'm trying to apply it. It's not working. As I
Not
keep
all
doing it, if I keep doing it, I will succeed. If I'm trying to ride a bicycle and I fall, what do? I just keep trying, right? I must make sure my methodology is right, of course.
Thank you. So the effort must continue. Forget the result, I suppose.
Not forget the result. You look at the result and see whether it is in line with the effort. If you are doing an effort and it's not in line, then you have to question what happened here. If you are saving and you're investing, obviously your corpus will go up. If you're saving, you're investing, your corpus is going down, then you have to ask yourself, "Ki kya ho raha hai bhaiya?"
Yeah. I think this is a good thing. The karmic surplus and the karmic debt, that is something which really resonates, that I have to every time remember that.
Yeah, except that's not what I just said. I said that when you're doing right action, you will see the results. If you don't see the results, then you have to stop and ask yourself, am I doing this correctly? When you start right action, you must know your gestation period.
Yeah, the thing is that when there's a right action, immediately there's a sense of peace. So you kind of feel I must have done something right. And when you say something or you say forget it or you're lazy or something, then you think, now I'm feeling bad about it, which means it's a pointer that I should have done something else. I guess. I don't know.
No. You don't worry about all these things. You're going to micromanaging. Do morning study. Attempt to do the right things. Be service oriented. See the results. If you don't see the result, then you question what happened. Too broad, big, moti baat. That's why I gave you the example. I thought of finance is very easy to understand. If I'm saving and investing, my corpus has to be going up. My corpus is not going up, then what am I doing? So don't worry about karmic debt and all. You worry about normal stuff.
Sure. Thank you.
Yes, Momita.
Is this correct, Janki that because the Atman is everywhere, and the sense of I-ness is arising because of vasanas?
Correct.
So that is a correct phrase.
Correct.
Still not getting why vasanas as a reflecting medium is wrong.
No,
In the
Vasana,
analogy,
reflecting medium is correct, but you wrote of the Atman. That's the part which is not right.
okay, because the Atman does not have a reflecting. Okay. Thank you.
Who will read the next paragraph? Momita, since I'm seeing you, you only read the next paragraph.
Without the cognition of the law of causation and a clear understanding of the consequent theory of reincarnation, you could run into trouble. Here is a true story. A lady in her advanced age developed cataract in her eyes. She was losing her eyesight. At that time of her life, a misfortune befell her. Her only daughter expired. She was terribly upset. She lost all her interest in the world. She would not meet anybody or go anywhere. Meanwhile, her cataract ripened. She was practically blind. Her family and well-wishers appealed to her to undergo surgery. She refused to do so. She chose to deny herself eyesight for the rest of her life. She would say, am I to restore my eyesight to gaze at emptiness? The beauty in my home is gone. I have nothing more to see. They were all confused and did not know how to persuade her to go through the surgery. They approached a Swami, a sage, for help. The Swami met her personally. The wise man explained to her how the resultant desire works. Remember, you are entertaining a powerful desire not to see the world, the sage said to her. You are old. Death may overtake you any day. If you continue to deny yourself eyesight, there is a fair chance you will be born blind. The lady sprang to her feet and went through the surgery the same day. So, this is an example of how we might mistakenly build a resultant desire which we do not want. So, like this lady who refused to to correct her eyesight uh, because of the death of her daughter, we should be careful about what it is that we are intending.
Very. Now we will read the next paragraph because it's saying more or less.
I will, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So this is very powerful this thing, but this is for desires which is known, right? What about strong desires which are unknown? That is
And you
scary,
said,
right, ma'am?
you said you're reading the paragraph and you're asking questions.
Okay. I just slipped in one.
Finish reading it and then you.
Okay, I will do that. The significant part of the episode is that a person could be born blind even though he does not desire it. The resultant of all his desires becomes the cause leading to the effect. Therefore, it would be in your interest to scrutinize at all times the types of desires you entertain, avoid negative thoughts and desires, turn them into positive. If you practice that, you would not be a victim of self inflicted complications in life. Your life would become more meaningful, purposeful. I think it answered my question. So, if we can avoid a negative effect by scrutinizing all desires that we harbor and turn negative into positive.
Yeah, we don't need to scrutinize each because it will not be completely possible. But whenever a negative thought comes into your mind, think a positive thought, no?
Yes,
Wherever
ma'am.
there is a negativity, there's also a positivity. Suppose, or suppose say my wife nags me too much. What is positive in that?
You learn patience.
Yes, you can learn patience, or you can say, at least she's concerned enough about me to nag. Otherwise, she'll be so unconcerned that she will be least bothered whether I do my exercises, whether I do my tests, whether I don't know, whatever. She's least concerned. Do I want a wife who's least concerned? Oh, there's some good in the fact that she's nagging me. Suppose I, for every negative, there's a positive. So why don't you look at the positive? Is there anything which is completely negative? Nothing is completely negative. So why not think of the positive side of it? Because the negative side is very easy for us to think of somehow. We are programmed to think of the negative side. If you see a white sheet, okay, completely white, like full white, there's a black dot on it. What will you see? Will you see a sheet that is 99.9% white? Or will you see a sheet with a black dot? The instinct is to see the black dot. So avoid thinking negative as far as possible.
Janki ji, attachment to, say, one's house, or forget about people, a house, or things which you have invested in. Is that also a negative thing, and you care too much about it, or you find yourself being affected by it? That is also negative, right?
Anything that is an indiscriminate thought is negative.
How do you stop that indiscriminate thought to go
being discriminated?
invested in?
Everybody knows that. If you become, how do you stop being indiscriminated? By being discriminative. How do you become discriminative? That anyone will tell you. Who will tell Meera how to become discriminative?
Morning study, obviously.
Yeah, that is there. But during the day, somehow.
No, you can't. You will be discriminative during the day if you are doing your mornings. I mean, you can't say, I would love to have my intellect rule my mind, but I will do nothing to exercise it. Then it's not going to happen. Suppose you say, I would love to punch Bharat. Okay? Suppose Momita says, I want to punch Bharat. What is the first thing she'll have to do?
Exercise and get muscles.
Yeah. Otherwise, she'll punch Bharat and Bharat will think some flyer sat on him like that, you know. Right? So if you want to knock down a person who is so muscular, you please become muscular yourself. Now you've made the mind so muscular and so strong. Now you please become strong yourself. Your intellect has to become strong. Then no, forget morning studies. Tell me how to control the mind. Ain't happening, buddy. Just ain't happening.
Thank you, Rakhi.
You sound so disappointed. What can I do? In the lady's example, she could grieve and see that grieving is part of life. Yes, it's not the grieving here, Momita, that's the problem. It's her refusal to see. She's refusing consciously to see. So her resultant is being affected by that thought she's having.
No, I was addressing Meera's question. Like,
oh, okay, what?
I mean, what to do? Like, I mean, if we have the intelligence, we can see that we have developed that intellect, then we can see that we are not unique and grief will visit us.
Yes, of course. I mean, so many ways you have, but the bottom line is intellect should be there. Like that, in terms of tips and tips and tips, Meera, if you want lots of these tips, there is a whole book written on it. It is called Happiness Guarantee, The Habits of Happiness. You have over 100 tips on what to do. What to do when you are happy, what to do when you are sad. Because everybody kept asking and asking and asking what to do, what to do. There's nothing to do but morning study. I said that for 40 years. People are saying that's very boring, you give the same answer. So, okay, I wrote it. 100 things that you will think of if you did morning study. So please just read it if anybody wants.
Yes, Janki.
Yes, Taranjit, very quickly because we are beyond time.
Sure, quickly. So in that lady's example, with that suggestion from the Swamiji, she also kind of has manifested the fear, right? So fear may also go along. So what I see another possibility was probably the reason was she didn't want wanted to see. That was the desire not to see. But if it would have been the other way around, that she accepted that, okay, I can't see, that's okay. But be positive, as you said, be positive. Even though Swamiji told that you were, but she came positive, right? I will not be blind. So that could also be another option, right? I'm positive. I will not be blind next birth. So it doesn't matter whether I go for surgery or not. It only matters what is the intention or what is the intention behind not seeing, right? That is more important than going for surgery or not. I think it can be looked at either way, but like
Yes,
fear
yeah.
works, right? Fear works.
Yeah. You can look at it any way, but always, Taranjit, you have a propensity to look at it a different way. But go in the, you know,
Because there are possibilities.
there
There
are
are
always
so the,
possibilities.
the the thinking that I have is not my thinking. It is coming to my mind. That's it. I'm not thinking, right? I am not thinking. The thought that the example you gave, I think, oh, there is another possible to, as you said, to be positive.
Yeah, but
So
if
be
you
positive.
go in the, you will find life getting easier if you go with it. Because your tendency seems to be to say, okay, what are the other options? I don't know. Are you an engineer?
Yeah.
Okay, no wonder. This is a problem we have with engineers. They always want some
No,
other.
it is not. Why it is a problem? Until unless you look at all the options, you can't design the best system, right?
Yes, yes, correct, correct.
It's,
I'm not
it's
disputing that. But the thing is, if we go, since it's your first few classes, just go with it for a bit, and then you will see that these various options, when you think of them, either they fit in that various theory or in the theory itself, or alternatively, that cannot exist. You will see it as you go on. Just
yeah,
saying,
I don't.
go with it.
Yeah, but I don't want to solidify on any belief system. That's my take. All belief systems can be challenged.
That is, of course.
Yeah, so I
Having
don't.
challenged it,
Yeah, that's what. So I don't want my mind to be fixed at any belief system.
that is not going to be possible, but of course you try
The
your
only
own.
belief system is there is no belief system. Just-
You realize the irony of that, right? So
yeah, yeah.
I won't go with it, but um go and try everything. I have myself done many things which I wanted to check. Oh, no, but this can't be like this and this can't be like that. So I can't say anything to you. You are my karma coming back to me. I have bothered my teacher. No doubt people are going to
Your
call.
resultant desire. Your resultant desire.
So I can't say anything, but having come 40
No,
years
but
doing this, let me tell you, eventually you're not going to find it. But please go ahead and try it yourself. Nobody's going to listen to that from anyone else.
yeah, but I'm lucky to have these sessions because it is my resultant desire to have these kind of conversation because these conversations don't happen anywhere. I have not seen in so many years. Thanks for having this platform here. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ranjit, we can use the clip of what you just said in our marketing with your permission.
Sorry?
We will use the clip of what you just said in our marketing with your permission. He didn't get that.